past, present, and future. So beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. So in the dimension of time start the past, present, and the future. But a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. And he has Kanchi Kailasa Sagatmapeetam, the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of 3rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam, and he is elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders. And Supreme Pontiff has 1,000 titles, and he has released over 20 million copies of books and articles which are sold, read, and downloaded. And he has the Brahma Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, and the Jain Sutras. And he is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded Hindu University, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University, in the world with satellite campuses in 150 countries. He is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, the founder and reviver of over 100. We will now be moving on to the witnessing the demonstration of extraordinary powers of the third eye by the Balasans and Nithyananda yogis. So we'll be having
Yes. So let us witness the as they see with their two eyes. And you will also be witnessing the extraordinary power of body scanning, which is the power where one awakens the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues, and scriptures of Hinduism. Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every person is hardwired to be able to manifest the 463 plus extraordinaries and siddhis. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are the divine and manifest from a deep space of oneness with Paramashiva, from the space of enlightenment as a side effect through ordinary beings in extraordinary ways, just after initiation from the avatar. And they lead you towards enlightenment, whereas siddhis express from tapas or penance, and they are on the unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As a fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Just to revive all these extraordinary Shaktis, Paramashiva has landed as a 1008th incarnation of Parashakti Yogi, Pundi Mahan, so many of these enlightened gurus who recognize Swamiji as an avatar at a very young age and have trained and taught Swamiji to revive these sciences and Paramashiva Vijnana. So how do we awaken these divine Shaktis in us? How do we manifest these extraordinary Shaktis? Every ultimate truth, Jnana, mapped into your consciousness, Prajna, manifests as a power and possibility of every being, Prajnana. So let us now watch a small video which explains what is
Diksha is the direct transfer of Virodhat Bhavantyeva Prasangyastu Bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a signer, Guruna Dikshito Bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop, energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Pramana, the empirical, the unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures by Paramashiva. Next is the Apta Pramana, the experiences and Nithyananda Paramashivam. This millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. And last is the Pratyaksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So, where do we get all these Shastra Pramanas from? Where do we get all these source scriptures from? For Hindus, Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, Vedagamas, are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed. So the power of third eye is where one awakens the ability to read with a blindfold. So let us see the Shastra Pramana with the power of third eye, which comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34. Kapalantarmanonyasa Tishtanvilitalochanaha. That stability of the mind and inner space through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Lakshyam by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals into the power of third eye to behold his Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form. And the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita contains the description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, which is completely Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you the divine third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. Not only I was able to see, I was able to feel and experience all of them as myself. Next, activities. High activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located. And when in the deep state of Samadhi, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the rest of the brain is at peace. So this is the day-to-day lifestyle. So along with me, I have Manitya Kaladharananda, who is 15 years old and a Balasant of the Nithyananda Gurukul. She is going to be manifesting the power of third eye in front of the tested eye band. You can see in front is a complete opaque sheet and behind is a thick sponge. You can see that there's a strap to comfortably strap the eye band to Ma Kaladhara's head. So you can see that this eye band has in hospitals of India, and it is proven that even with the eyes open inside this eye band, there is no possible way of light entering in this eye band. So I'll be placing this eye band on Ma Kaladhara's eyes. You can see that eyes, and now I'm strapping it to her head. So you can see Ma Kaladhara, look to your right, left, up. So you can see it's completely covered and down. The live Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, and Ma Kaladhara will be reading it live in front of all of you today. So I request all of you to go ahead. You can post emojis, numbers, shapes, anything, sentences. You can post medical terms, scientific terms, anything. There's a comment from 7 SEARC. Suhila Survey SUN Santu PASHAYANTUMAAKA. 7 searchful has posted Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinas, Sarve Shanti Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyatim. I request all of you to continue posting. You can post anything you want in the comments, and Ma Kaladhara will be reading it out. Go ahead and post. You can post medical terms, scientific terms, and you can even post in. Okay. And so we also have something interesting today. So you can see I have 3 storybooks with me. So I have 3 storybooks, and there in these 3 these are 3 random storybooks, and around 50 pages. Around 90 pages in the 3rd book. So I request all of you to, any one of you can choose these any one of these 3 books, and Ma Kaladra, you can post in the comments and post which book you read. So, and any one of you can choose which book you want Ma Kaladra to read and which page number, and Ma Kaladra will be reading it out. Third eye in front of all of you. All the viewers can choose which 3 books out of these 3 they want.
Yes. Again, 7 search has posted picture. Paramapriyananda has posted page 30.
Okay, so I request you to post of which book you want page 30 to be read. Okay, so open page 30 in this book and you can read. So I request you to show it little higher in front of the camera. Yes. Yes, so Ma Kaladra has chosen this page and you can see giving that book to her then. Yes. Ma Kaladra, you can choose page 30. Start reading. Or you can actually describe the pictures on page 30.
Yes. So here and there is a person standing here speaking to the girl, and he is wearing a purple colored dress with a yellow and black color shawl on his hip. And here girl's shawl is flying and the guy is lying down. The guy is lying down. The guy who is wearing a purple dress.
Okay, is running and the man in the purple dress is running. So is lying down. So Ma Kaladra has beautifully described. She even described that there's a green curtain here. Yes, and I encourage all of you to continue posting more page numbers. You can post. We have 3 books with us, and you can post. And the biggest book has 90 pages. So from 1 to 19, you can do 90. You can choose any page, and Ma Kaladra will be. Why don't you go ahead and read the next comment?
Expressions of me, I am Ma Jalandra has posted, and she has posted so proud of you with the 2 dots and a closed bracket. And expression of me, I am Ma Jalandra has also posted page number 44. Yes, okay, now I'll be reading the page number 44.
Okay, Ma. So even in this, you can choose any book which you want Ma Kaladra to reach page 44.
Nithyananda has posted the one with the red border.
So Ma Kaladra, you can go ahead and choose which book. Yes. So she has correctly chosen the one with the red border. Yes, Ma Kaladra, open page 44. Go ahead and choose another number, Ma, as the one with the red border has only 30 pages. Okay, so okay. Ma Kaladra, why don't you go ahead and read?
All right, page number 22. So now I'll be opening the page number 22.
Yes. So Ma Kaladra has. You can describe the pictures on page 22.
There are 2 males dark and light pink, and he's wearing two chains in golden color, and he's wearing a coat kind of top which is dark pink and in top. And in the next picture they're showing both of them sitting on top of a cushion, sofa kind of cushion, and sitting is light green.
Okay, so Ma Kaladhara has described the top part of the picture. So all of you can see how in the top part of picture Ma Kaladhara beautifully described that there is two people bolsters next to them, and there are three pillars, and you can see how Ma Kaladhara was even able to see the amount, how many cushions are there, how many pillows are there, and how they are sitting, in which way they are sitting. She was able to see to so many details how intact. There's no change to the eye band. Everything is the same, and you can see how Ma Kaladhara is still adjusting to the light. So her eyes were closed inside the whole time, and she was able to see with her eyes closed. So that is a very amazing demonstration of the power of third eye. Next, we'll be manifesting the power as HDH Nithyananda channel, and then the Balasant and the Nithyananda yogis will be coming and doing a live body scanning for all of you. So we'll be coming back and joining with you after a short break. Yes. So now you will be seeing the pramanas for the power of body scanning, where one awakens the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, body problems, medically diagnosed issues, and even reveals why it started. There are so many cases where the person is not able to relate with the scanning. The person will be like, no, I don't have this problem. But when they follow the solution Paramashiva gives, they actually get healed of the problem that they are aware of. Sukshma sukshma tarani cha tatvani yani nilayam Dhyatvaante vyajyate para. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, one becomes complete from all the thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed and the supreme power manifestation happens. Next, you will be witnessing Agastya did the body scanning and revealed that there is a small type of terai, a frog, sitting in his head. And he immediately instructs his disciple Tereya the experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Swamiji, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. So Swamiji beautifully, they detected heavy metal quantity in different organs of mine, and it was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical facility. Last is the Sakshi Pramana, the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestations being manifested through the different disciples of Swamiji who have been initiated. So you can see how, and you'll be thinking, wow, even the participants are able to manifest, even you yourself can manifest. Just join the Paramashivoham level 2 program and you can also manifest. But now you can manifest all the 400 you to continue posting. Call your family members, call your friends, show them that they can manifest this power just with one initiation, and tell them that now they can get a body scanning, and immediately after the Devi Parashakti Akashic readings, they can them. Yes. So now you will be witnessing the extraordinary demonstration, a live demonstration of the power of body scanning by the posting your requests and comments for the power of body scanning, and the Balasins are eagerly waiting to manifest this extraordinary Shakti for all of you. Okay. So expressions of me I am has posted. Mahajalandhara Sthitananda. Okay, so Ahmed Aya has posted, please scan my body and what color is my shirt. Okay, so I will be doing the scanning for what color is your shirt, and Ma Soni, you can do the scanning for Ahmed Daya's body. And Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda It's in that shade, but it's a kind of lighter blue also, but it's a mix of those two colors. And Paramashiva revealed one more thing is that one part of the Balasan did the scanning. Yes, Ma'am Ramyoga, you can go ahead.
Yes, so my Mahachalandra Sthitananda, Paramashiva revealed to me that for your sister Mayuri, the solution for her diabetes is every day after she gets up, the first thing she should do this, and then only she should even drink water and have anything else. So if she follows the simple solution for 1 month, it will heal.
Oh, wow. A very unique solution that Sthitananda has posted. I would like to move to India and first to Europe, please, where my husband is. What do I need to be aware of that is blocking me in moving, please? Okay, first thing, Ma, Swamiji has actually at Devi Parashakti, she will be guiding you and telling what is right. But Swamiji has for now told anybody who is out of India, best not to move into India as COVID-19 is spreading really fast around the world. And that is a very simple solution and a simple scanning, but amazing how she was able to see through her third eye and scan even and reveal the solution. So I request Ma Mahajalandhara Sthitananda and Ahmed Aya, I request you to get back in the Okay. So Ma Soni, okay. So Ma Mahajalandhara Sthitananda is posted for my sister. Yes, neem and turmeric first thing in the morning. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being able to scan another person's body and being able to reveal what problems they have. Why don't you go ahead and share?
Okay, so I was manifesting body scanning, and one volunteer was chosen for me to do a body scanning for them, and I did the body scanning, and like that was the first time I was going for a demo and doing a body scanning live for someone on his left thigh, and that was like a really precise answer. Which, you know, so I was like thinking, should I tell it? Is it really? Does he really have it, or am I just thinking? Because it was like so exact. If he right or wrong, after all credits go to him. So I just told I clenched my hands really tight, and I just told that that was my first. That's my experience of the first time I did body scanning, and from that day onwards, I like whatever solutions come, I'm completely confident.
For remote vision. So one day we were doing the Kalpataru demo, and one person came and asked me, okay, why don't you go ahead and scan my house? I was like, okay, third floor, excluding the ground floor or including the ground floor, are you living on the fourth floor? And then he told, oh yes, without the ground floor, without the basement, if you count it, I'm living on the third floor. And then he was like, yeah, I'm living on the third floor. And then it's pretty big, and it's in a it's supposed to be in a black color case, but it's a little open. And he was just like, oh my God, he was so shocked because that's exactly how it was to manifest and see through my third eye, and was able to scan and tell that there's a guitar in his house, and it is in this position, it is leaning against the wall, and the black case is open. It's just a trust on Swami. So this is the beautiful experience we've had with the powers of remote vision, body scanning, and much more. So now it's time to come to Nithyanandam.
Nithyananda, that was an absolutely exquisite, extraordinary demonstration of who had been just explaining it, just through the initiation, this beautiful process begins, and we are seeing the possibilities of humankind being manifested through higher possibility of themselves awakened to them. And that ultimately is the purpose of Shakti herself, the embodiment of the divine feminine consciousness. Now, in this next segment, we will be understanding who is Devi Parashakti? Let us be introduced, for many of us for the first time, to who is Devi Parashakti? Who is this? We'll now understand Devi Parashakti from the very beginning, from the way that she is described in the Shastras. The Lalita Sahasranama is one of the, in fact, it has all of the 1008 qualities of Devi Parashakti listed. Such beautiful significance behind each one, and each one being an ultimate power of Parashakti in a very subtle, very sacred way, and which is, of course, apt as today we are feminine consciousness, and she is the embodiment of the cosmic mother. She is the source of where all the billions and billions of universes go in and come out. And she is the one whom we all revere. She has the ability to literally take away all our fears, our worries, everything at one shot. Now, let us understand and begin with the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti.
From Lalita Sahasranama. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Mauli Spurat Taranayaka Shekaram Smitamukhi.
Briefly chanting the English translation as well. The Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in vermilion, red body with triple eyes sporting a crown of
Tarangitakshi Mritapashangusha Pushpabana Chapam Animadi Viravrita Mayukairahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani.
I meditate on the great Empress, she is shining me.
So Devi, the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, Parashakti, is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions of universes comes.
And out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as Nija Avatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And she is gracing us.
Parashakti herself, which says, raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Krimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is in Kailasa Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraja Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi.
Raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, and Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence. And from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi is the form of Nithyananda. I came to bless every one of you.
So literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti, a betel nut and a coin. So that coin is called as a traditional Dakshina. So it can be of any lowest value. It can be even 1 paise or even 1 cent.
How much it adds to your sentiment that really Devi Parashakti is there. And ultimately, you'll not take the Devi Darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious. So, and it's all arranged in a plate here, as you can see. The coconut and the red bangles, as well as the red vestram, is also optional. But this betel leaf, betel nut, the banana, is a basic necessity for each and every. And start interacting personally with Devi Parashakti. Ask her our questions and request her boons, request her energy in our lives, request her guidance, whatever it might be. So as you can see, Devi Parashakti has made her YouTube channel, and this will give you access an array of more than 7,000 YouTube videos and all the darshans, dikshas, satsang sessions, everything that the Supreme Pontiff on the right-hand side. So make sure that you're able to do those steps on YouTube.
Yes. So the next official social media platform through which you can connect with Parashakti and ask for your blessings is the official.
Ensure that you are following the Twitter handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at Sri Nithyananda on Twitter, and also make your reply and to ask your questions and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti.
The next social media platform is the Instagram account. So Sri Nithyananda is the official Instagram account, and you can follow.
Ask your questions on kailasa.org through the WhatsApp widget. If you have WhatsApp, you can use the WhatsApp widget, and also you can use the live chat widget. So these two are other options that you can use through kailasa.org. Now we will understand that Devi Parashakti has addressed each and every one of us as individuals, as people who are, some of us most desperately, most outside today. But Devi Parashakti has not only attended to us as individuals, but also as humanity as a whole, has given us supreme knowledge, wisdom, and guidance in order to us through this day and age, through the COVID-19 pandemic, where she has literally been able to handhold us through these extremely dark and tense times, just as. So in this next segment, we will be understanding the guidance that Devi Parashakti has given, the pure guidance, and for the whole of so many different ways Devi Parashakti has given us supreme knowledge and wisdom. So now we will now be entering into the next segment, where humanity is still undergoing the after effects of the cosmic deluge and thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emerging fungal and mental health issues.
Yes. So why did this happen? So what has caused this? Who is behind this, and how could we have avoided
the world right now? More than 3.8 million deaths, 175 million confirmed cases, and the top worst affected countries being USA, India, and Brazil at the moment.
So we could see the number of increasing COVID cases, especially in India, more than
is undergoing so much of turmoil. And here we can see that India is the sixth most depressed country, 6.5% of the population suffering some form of mental illness at 24. And that is a very alarming age, because it is the youth that is being directly affected.
Yes, so you can see how India is suffering because of this, all these natural disasters, these cyclones, and listen to Parashakti's revelation on the 31st of May of what Parashakti has revealed.
Kirimi Bojanam இரண்டாயிரத்திருபத்திரண்டு வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாதயாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு.
Yes. So what Parashakti has revealed in her own words in English, she says, for this huge Kirimi Bojanam hell not to come. Let us now listen to Bhagavan.
Full year, I am going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 20 items, transportation, enjoying the river banks, forests, till now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting. 10,000 people. 19, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet. And where the archanas, see, in the main temple, there will not be any archana or anything, because just for darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other, that will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2020 is Jayanti. Full year. Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padayatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifest. Revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma can be done. I need to get into the ground where people can see me, user friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. So I have given 2 years for me now, 2018 and 2019. So 2020, before that 10,000 people will be realization. How will you visualize what will happen if 10,000 power manifestors enter into a village and ask people, tell me your problem now, come on, let's sort it out. Understand, 1,200 years. Srirangam temple, the whole carving is there. Srirangam temple gives a week by week the whole picture of male baby and female baby. Any of you have seen that? Srirangam Rangaraj chunk of 80-90 to be displayed in this Balalayam. Work is going on all of that. We are also going to, when this Cambodia and all these civilizations were flourishing, two community from, but the common civilian, these two community only went. So Nagarattar and Saivavelalar. Saivavelalar agriculture.
Yes. So since the age of 10, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been courses. So this 16th to 17th November 2005, which happened in Chennai in Tamil Nadu, where he is conducting a huge satsang on the title Anandam Selvathai Inikum.
And he continued to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, initiating thousands of people into the science of enlightenment.
And again in 2005, this is in Rasipuram in Tamil Nadu, he is conducting another satsang in the title Ain Guru and programs in Salem, Tamil Nadu. This is one of the Nithyananda Spurana programs.
There's the Nithyananda program in Delhi.
And you can see
in Adi Kailasha Sattva celebrating the 29th Jayanti celebration.
And also this is the Jayanti celebrations, and where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is addressing a school in Tiruvannamalai.
And in Little Anandas, which was conducted to initiate young children into the science of enlightenment.
And these are the various pictures.
And here in Adi Kailasha Sattva, the Nithyananda.
The various contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he has enriched thousands and thousands of people by healing, by giving enriching sessions and actually explaining to them and giving them the glimpse of the signs of enlightenment through initiation. But however, the anti-Hindu elements have really made it impossible to do the re-energizing process by
வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய் நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள் சொல்வதை புரிந்துகொள் இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள் என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார் மறுபடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும் அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே.
So Devi revealed that the only solution for this pralaya to end in India is if the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's feet touch the ground in India, and Padayatra that was planned for years is actually conducted, and the re-energizing process of the 12 Jyotirlingas is allowed. Kali Yuga would be forewarned us what to expect in this Kali Yuga.
So yes, so we can see Kali Yuga is the worst of all the 4 yugas, where man will be his papa. Varnashrama vivarjitaha. Nanyat pashyami jantuna muktva varanasim purim. Sarva papa prasamanam prayaschittam kalau yuge.
Varanasi, the Mahapuri.
Yes, now Gurma Purana again states Brahma Krita Yuge Devastretayam Bhagavan Ravihi Dwapare Dhaivatam Vishnu. Current age, the presiding divinity, the avatara is Rudra, Lord Maheshwara, Maha Sadashiva.
And on the 2nd of January 1978, out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashivoham waited till 1979 to descend onto planet Earth. It would have been too late for humanity. Let us listen to that revelation here.
It is not lost. Just the last minute climax before it was going to be put off, have happened. If I had time, I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. I have everything needed to bring that science back to life and establish its legitimacy.
Conscious breakthrough to humanity. Let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on this.
ஓம் உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம் தாங்கி. நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்தியயுகம் செய்வோம், நித்தியயுகம் சத்தியயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
So Devi revelations translated into English reveal that people of the world listen. Kali Yuga has matured, and over time has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great Pralaya has.
India had planned to do Padayatra throughout India in 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji.
The avatar has been preparing for this Padayatra since the age of 10.
So the Supreme Pontiff began enriching
His birthplace and a huge spiritual pilgrimage site.
And when Supreme Pontiff was around 19 years of age, you can see the Ramakrishna Mutt, where he could recall the Yatra from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Thiruvannamalai.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally on the 31st of December 1929.
And after that, the Supreme Pontiff established the first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Tiruchengodu in Tamil Nadu. And with his intensity and dedication, crowds of thousands of people were gathered around him and
initiating them into the superconscious breakthrough.
So subsequently, the avatar personally organized and led yatras yearly and guided individual souls not just to physical spiritual sites, but supernal spiritual realms.
Anandishwari
So you can see the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, which was actually led by and Parashakti to create the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham as a ship to save humanity from the upcoming Pralaya. The avatar created the Nithyananda Vaidya Sarovar, the Ananda Linga. So anyone who bathes in the waters would be actually healed from all kinds of diseases. So we'll now watch the video clip of the Rudrabhishekam performed with the Supreme Court of Hinduism.
जनमस्सहस्राक्षाय च जगधन्मने जनमो गिरिशाय विष्टाय जनमो ज्येष्ठाय जगनिष्ठाय जनमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय जनमो मध्यमाय च प्रगल्भाय जनमो च घन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमस्तोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय जनमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नम ऊर्वोदुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय जनमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय जनमो दूताय च प्रहिताय जनमो निषङ्गिने च श्रुतिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे च वेजायधिने च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शंगाय च वशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे उत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च फेन्याय च नमस्तिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः इरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगंशिलाय च क्षेमाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुनस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्
सद्गुरु नित्यने नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्यने நின்முகம் நீ நைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாக குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியாய் பொறாமையோடிங்கு ஏக்கத்தோடப்பா புண்ணியம் எல்லாம் போனதே எரிந்தவரே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே.
And wherever the avatar's feet have graced the planet Earth, there the seeds have been of super consciousness have been sown.
So 1,000 and plus the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham, and you can see Kailasa in Thiruvannamalai,
Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. Houston, Texas.
Kailasa in Oklahoma City,
Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona.
in St. Louis, Kailasa in St. Louis, in Scotland, Kailasa in Netherlands. The various ecosystems established across the world, like Kailasa in Slovakia,
Belgium.
and you can see Kailasa in Mauritius, Kailasa in South Africa, Kailasa in Salem, which is established by Supreme Pontiff himself, and then Hosur in Tamil Nadu. This is the Pattanam ecosystem, Kailasa in Pattanam.
Kailasa in Iraq, which is the Yogini Sarvajnapeetham.
So the Kailasa in Singapore,
In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
and the Kailasa in Guadeloupe. So you can see Supreme Pontiff in Hinduism initiating thousands into spiritual healing who have become healers to heal the millions of people around the world.
And
Thousands of Padayatras were conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of Supreme Pontiff Hinduism and revival of Kailasa, silently preparing each one for what was to come in the future.
2017, devotees in Malaysia planned, and here you can see some of the global achievements and services that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been conducting population in 347 cities in 196 countries across 6 continents, and the world's largest Hindu university established in the US, Canada, UK, Slovakia, Switzerland, and France.
And you can see world's greatest digital media platforms were One Enlighten app, Enlighten Up, SoundCloud, or the Nithyananda Radio.
And 1 billion e-citizens in over 100 countries rich with
These global initiatives that was taken through Kailasa in holistic health, education, and development of human potential, sharing the practical applications of Hinduism and its signs of enlightenment through which and chasen out of India itself. So we saw what Devi Parashakti had revealed in the Akashic readings. So with that, we will be moving to the next segment of this program after a short break.
You know and are a part of this beautiful Hindu tradition where each and every one of us has experienced such a beautiful connection, a simple yet extremely profound guide as we are making steps in our lives, as we are manifesting new adventures and new ventures, new relationships, and getting the most out of our life. Now, whether it is our birth in Hindu Dharma, as we are unfolding a new path in our lives, and not only that, in this way, in our lives today, unfortunately, many of us are finding that the divine is not as present as we used to have in our childhood occasion. And we would have been so happy just to interact with the divine, have the darshan of the deities, and offer a few coins in the hundi, and continue to interact with the divine, have the personal darshan and diksha, and also make our offerings as we want to. Now, different offerings. Now, understand that offering is a giving of a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of two parts. One is giving, and the second is accepting. Only when the divine accepts what one offers.
Invoke Devi Parashakti by chanting the verse from Mula Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam. Induni Bhaveda Karavahni Nayanam Syat Pankaja Varabhaya Japaksha.
And fire in eyes, with lotus flower gracing, and blessing hands on one hand with the japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful
Chabayam Chakshamalam Divyairabharanair Vibhushita Tanum Brahmadi Vipujitam Devi Meva Manun Manim Pratidinam Kamarta Datrim Shubham.
She is wearing beautiful ornaments, and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day.
Apatata apamekam veda samreta ahustatte hiramyam trividasva vise.
And the English translation: triply born by birth is this gold from the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni, one fell away from snow, and understand its value and its pricelessness and when we're offering gifts. Many of us have given for Mother's Day, our marriage anniversaries, even are really divine and sacred in gold. In fact, it purifies anything that it touches, and it's an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates.
Eyes are very big. So in Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, and ritual feasts were even offered in golden bricks. So when one was to be saved from life-threatening, and even the horses and cows were dressed up in gold.
The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Nyamaya, or gold in Rig Veda, and they relied this super science that Paramashiva had gifted on planet Earth in all the different aspects of the whole life and lifestyle in the Hindu civilization. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold.
The offering. So the Shastra Pramana describing Devi Parashakti says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharada Radhya Sharvani Sharmadayini.
And now, if there is any fear in the minds of devotees, Devi is the one to be sure to remove that fear absolutely compassionately and without asking for anything in return, questioning inside of us the purpose of our lives and so on. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly at this
through the YouTube super chat and super sticker option, which we would be guiding you in the later part of this segment. The next offering is the Sankalpa chanting. So the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34.
To this universe, that God is being prayed without any interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation, and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Whoever is offering you, or if you're offering on behalf of the other person, with all the fruition of the desires and wishes you are yearning for. Every single day, having a conscious resolution is how you should start the day. And as a conscious resolution, you can offer the Sankalpa today.
So the next offering is the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, the golden coin offering, which is inscribed with the names of Parashakti. So Lalita Sahasranama, verse 731, it says, Nama Parayana Prita, which means she who likes the blessings, to have all the divine qualities, the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Parashakti. It is available at 3 sizes in 3 denominations, $75, $151, and $251.
The chant, the sacred chants, is actually used and implemented here, where every time we chant the name of Devi, that energy is...
She Pancharatnam, it beautifully describes Muktahara Lasat Kirita Ruchiram Purnendu Vaktra Prabham Shinjannu Purakinkini.
English translation. I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has pearls and face shining like the full moon, who wears anklets that are studded in passion.
So you can offer the finger ring with the pearl, the Mukta. The next offering is the offering of the golden lotus, the Swarna Padma Pushpam. The Kamikagama, it describes Ashtavidyeshwaropeta Kumbhavarana Samyutam Sarve Sasutra Vastradya Hema Pankaja Pushitaha.
With new cloth, they should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. Actually, in the sacred Hindu scripture, the Padma Pushpa, the lotus flower, is referred in so many. It is always implemented into the worship of Paramashiva and the worship of the ultimate. And it always involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, lotus pericarp, and lotus petals. And that's why lotus is considered as a divine flower. And in fact, flower that actually represents Devi herself, as Devi Parashakti sits on the lotus. Now, the significance of lotus, as is told in the Hindu tradition, is how everywhere in any things to radiate the state, space, powers, and being of Devi in your innermost space amidst any and every adverse states.
Nakadhititi samchanna namajjanna tamo guna padadbhaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha.
The English translation: you whose brightness from toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance, from sacred feet, to be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings, even in the most difficult parts of your life. Now, Devi Parashakti is adorned that the very toenails of Devi Parashakti can literally liberate you and remove all the ignorance from you. So adorning that toe ring and offering our gratitude to that the feet that
Who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from Sahasrara, that is she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So the Mangtika, the hairline jewelry, it represents the nectar that flows from
presentation here as we are talking, that the nectar which is overflowing from that very lotus, the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open, understand, the 1,000-petaled lotus, which is fully open and literally oozing the nectar out, that nectar is represented by a remembrance and offering as well to Devi Parashakti. So you can offer this Mangtika to Devi and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and this.
Yes, so the next offering is the beautiful, very special offering, Pratyakshapada Puja. So we'll be chanting the Shastra Pramana from the Sloka 83 of Saundarya Lahari.
Defeat the Lord. Now, Shlokam number 83 of the Saundarya Lahari, one of the most beautiful stotrams on Devi Parashakti, states that the nails that have been sharpened by constantly being of Hinduism and have the blessings of literally your ignorance being removed entirely. Most auspicious time to surrender all the karmas that you have, everything that you have, and surrender and offer that at the feet of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa, the form of all the gods and goddesses, and the one who has taken on the responsibility as Jagat Guru, the one very auspicious time for us to make this offering and for us to offer the Pratyakshapada Puja. The next offering is the Vastra Seva. This is the offering of the sacred adornment or the sacred cloth in order to adorn. Here is a summary table for all the different offerings that we went over today. There's first the E-Hundi offering, which again you can make as a general donation and you can make for any amount. The Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Sahasra payment, you can go to tiny.cc/Devi Devi-offerings. Now, you might be in two categories as we are concluding this segment, and you just make that ready in order to make these offerings immediately. If that is your case, you can fill out the intention form for making these offerings. You can go to tiny.cc/Bhavasamadhi and fill out the intention form. This intention form /Devi-offerings, and that link will lead you to this very page as you are seeing. So as you can see, the Parashakti Bhavasamadhi Darshan donations are here listed out. And you can just select from the drop-down menu any of the, and then you will be filling out your billing details and all of your details as well, your payment details. Make sure that you submit this form. Then after members are chanted during the puja, and this is the way that we ensure that all the pujacharyas, the shivacharyas from the Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalaya are chanting and making sure that your name is chanted during the puja. And you first join the Kailasa's Nithyananda YouTube channel as a member. And you can right next to make a donation through the credit card or debit card or PayPal, and you can make any kind of donation. This is what you can offer as the E-Hundi amount. And you can also choose the super sticker option where you can choose any sticker that you'd like to send as well. And Devi Parashakti literally manifest the oneness experience with the divine. And you can manifest whatever you want in your life today. And the way, so many different ways, how you are manifesting and literally you're living the reality that you wanted to live from the very beginning. The United Nations has also recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And after so many decades of persecution, we have seen how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has not given up once for against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the whole world and make a fusion against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today, as we are going on into the next segments, we'll be understanding the details and seeing how the United Nations has recognized the persecution by literally showing the whole world the truth. He is bringing an end to that Holocaust which is going on. In the next segments, we will be seeing the details of all of what has happened. And in the COVID care centers in India, one of the most astounding contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and safest places for people to stay and live during this extremely tense time in the whole Pralaya. So we'll now be joined in we'll be right back with you after a very quick break, and we'll be continuing on with the next segments in today's program.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Kailasa coming to you. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by and setting model community. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. Hinduism by the principle of dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. When you protect dharma, dharma protects you. We will
Nithyanandam, and welcome to today's segment of the Adi Kailasa ship is happening for Kailasa. Once again, the United Nations has recognized the persecution, ethnocide, genocide, specifically femicide of the Kailasa women's community. The women followers done an entire study on femicide. Femicide specifically means the killing of women, specifically related to their gender, meaning just because a woman is a woman, killing the extreme inhuman crime of femicide is giving a glimpse of the whole persecution that the women community of Kailasa has gone through. We wanted to share this with you at the outset of this segment, and we'll be going into the details of this or even the 2 billion Hindus at large today. It is actually a victory, a resounding victory, and an awareness that has been, on the one hand, we have a massively powerful way of living our superconsciousness, our real existence, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enabled every person, being by being, to live one's true conscious sovereignty. So let us take a look at what still contributes to the world in the same way and with the same intensity, probably more, to see the roots of this Hinduism, its origins, its Holocaust, and how it exists today. And real struggle of Kailasa, the story of the world's only Hindu nation. Let us take a look at the big picture first. Kailasa and its vision and mission. Kailasa is the only macrocosmic ancient Hindu. Kailasa creates a safe haven needs of 2 billion Hindus and the whole of humanity. Kailasa creates a safe haven to live, practice, express, and radiate. The peaceful lifestyle of Extra was created with the determination to not just preserve and protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma and share it with the entire world, but also to share the story of persecution that is yet unknown to the world. Who lost the right to practice Hinduism authentically in their own countries. Though the Kailasa movement is founded in the United States and spearheaded by members of the Hindu Adi Shaivite minority community, it is created for and offers a safe haven to all the world. The vision of Kailasa is enlightened living for all of humanity, which is rooted in the fundamental principle of Advaita. And now a glimpse about what really is Hinduism. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition, the inherent divinity of every being. Hinduism comprises many indigenous spiritual traditions coexisting peacefully for millennia. The Hindu whole of the last 5,000 years on the most ancient living civilization on the planet, denied by the historians, untold by its victimized survivors. The imprisonment, torture, murder, destruction of universities and schools, and crimes against women and children. The systematic elimination of Hindus, 100 samsthanas or provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas or traditions. Over several centuries, the combined forces of foreign invasion, political upheaval, colonialism, and religious persecution systematically ended millennia of Hindu Swarajya or self-rule. and the denial of Holocaust. Denying the largest Holocaust, which has been shockingly going on since 5,000 years of history, will continue to go so, obliterate a people, then obfuscate and obliterate their memory, and finally seek to obfuscate and obliterate the memory of the obfuscation and obliteration. This strategy has been successful as today all the colonial forces, be it in the name of their race or color or religious faith or cultural roots or ethnicity or some other distinction, Hindus have over the past over 2000 years been subject to mass murder, multi-level. All levels, literally physical, mental, emotional, cultural, religious, political, economical, social, and much more.
system, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist. Now and setting model communities. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live power manifest exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is each affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually.
Nithyananda. The next segment is we're going to see how unprecedented persecution over millennia, the untold story of Hindu Holocaust. So broadly, we can destruction of Hindu civilization happened. Will Durant, from his book The Story of Civilization, he says that the Mohammedan conquest of India is the warriors. And all of this happened between 880 to 1780, when the millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period. Million more were raped and murdered and dismembered. Sculptures were destroyed. The conquering armies burnt villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flogged with thongs of raw cloth. Al-Hidayah, one of the most influential works of second Sunni, it is then incumbent on all the Muslims to call upon the God for assistance and make a war upon them, because God is the assistance of those who serve him, and destroyer of his enemies and infidels. If he says no to conversion, or if he says no to pay tax for not being converted, then you have every right to destroy the infidel, as per the legal manual of the Islamic law. And tread down their grain, because by these means they will become weakened, and their resolution will fail and their force be broken. These means are therefore all sanctified by the law. So the law itself sanctifies all the horrendous acts of disarming a person or Hindus as converted to Alauddin Khilji by his Qazi or legal advisor, who says that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must agree with the Prophet had already ordained. If the Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their properties must be confiscated. To keep the Hindus in abasement is especially, therefore, the entire community who invaded India deployed 1,000 Hindu Shah Firista. He says that the Raja of Nagarkota, after sustaining some loss, submitted but was restored to his dominions. The name of Nagarkota was on this occasion changed to them to be tied around the necks of Brahmins, who were then paraded through the camp. It is said also that he sent the image of Naushaba to Mecca to be thrown on the road, that it might be trodden underfoot by the pilgrims. Little children were massacred on the bosoms of their mothers and their corpses left there. The economic and the psychological in India. He also told that I have seen great people starving to death before my eyes. And I'm convinced that this, you can see the pictures of people, Indians especially and Hindus especially, who were forced starved in the artificially created famine by the British occupied India, were dead due to famines and poverty imposed by British policy and reprisal killings for 1857 mutiny and 600 child of a third world poverty. Next, we have this colonial subjugation, British master race theory. Using theories of scientific Darwinism, racism, and social Darwinism, following these studies, you are walking in the very path through which England boasts her wealth. The glorious work which God seems to have laid on the English race to replenish the earth and subdue it. Charles Kingsley suit the universal concomitants of oppression, the vices of falsehood. Indeed, they carry to a height almost unexampled among the other races of men, as beyond all dispute. In truth, the Hindus, like the eunuch, excels in the qualities of the slave. The Mohammedan is more manly. They destroyed their temples and so harassed and interfered with the people such that they abandoned the city in large numbers, refusing to remain any longer in a place, the divide and rule. The British had been horrified during the revolt of 1857 to see Hindus and Muslims fighting side by side under each other's command against the foreign oppressor. The two communities was launched over the British sponsorship. The colonial subjugation. The British Empire used all possible means to destroy the Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India so they would become slaves in their own homeland. Anti-Hindu narratives destroyed indigenous Gurukul education system, destroyed local industries and forced importation of British goods, banned Indians from owning or producing the firearms. Beastly people with beastly religion, the famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits. Harsh British tax and export policies and poor infrastructure management caused multiple famines in India, claiming tens of millions of lives, most recently in Bengal 1943. British invaders destroyed the local industry to ensure dependence and poverty. Prior to colonial rule, India was the world's leading textile manufacturer and produced the finest fabrics. The British engaged in a systematic campaign to destroy the local handloom industry through harsh taxation and export policies that forced Hindus to import British-made textiles. They destroyed the local industry to ensure the dependence and poverty. By 1878, Indian Railways mechanics in Jamalpur in Bengal and Ajmer in Rajputana had in 1912 banning all the local manufacturers of trains to ensure India's economic dependence on their colonial masters and destroy the native technological know-how. Seizure, taxation, and the ruins were ruined and unmaintained. The revenues of Tripati are on a gradual decline and will die in the lapse of years a natural death. Some of the most celebrated temples in the country are worse off, but restricted to high caste Hindus. But their own surveys revealed that every village had at least one school, and the Sudras and other low caste children, we must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern, a class of persons Indian in blood and color, but English in taste and opinion, in moral and in intellect. To that, despite their best efforts to adopt the English language, clothing and mannerisms, the anglicized brown British native clerks of India were often viewed with contempt and ridiculed as Bengali gentlemen. Nationalism. After the Indian Mutiny of 1857, the British realized that to strengthen their hold in India, they being just a handful needed to widen their political and psychological management of India and Indians. Thus, they began to focus on the education of native. Now let's look into the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. The British government passed the Criminal Tribes Act, where various were presumed guilty by birth, murdered, raped, arrested, had children separated from the parents, and held in penal colonies or quarantined without conviction or due process. Upon release from British custody to demonize the Hindus and feed the stereotype of savage Oriental, British authorities and media sensationalized the stories of bloodthirsty thuggies or bandits who would offer the human sacrifices to the wicked and few to suspend the civil liberties and target subversive elements that challenged the British hegemony. The secular India, where the Hindu temples were looted and neglected. Post-independence, the theft of jewels and deities and alienation of the temple land. Many temples constructed at least 1,500 years activism. The Sabarimala temple dedicated to Lord Ayyappa in Kerala, where the South India represents one of the Hinduism's unique spiritual ecosystems. The form of Ayyappa worshipped and are equally allowed access, while the Sabarimala is a single exception. Ayyappa devotees undergo 41 period of celibacy, fasting, and other penances prior to making the pilgrimage to prepare their bodies and super consciousness for spiritual ecosystem present in Sabarimala temple. Largest pilgrimage sites that is exceeded only by Mecca. Given its prominence, the Sabarimala temple has been targeted by the anti-Hindu social activists for years as part of their broad. You can see openly it is a statement made by somebody in the government that is so anti-Hindu, like so much of religious intolerance is inculcated to Hindus in the recent times. Since 1990s of propaganda against the enemy supported by such military, economical, or the political measures may as be required. Such propaganda is generally intended to demoralize the enemy to break his will to fight or resist. Motion pictures, etc. The secular India, in which the media narratives used to stereotype and demoralize the Hindus. Bollywood and many other mainstream raising the Muslim hijab. The glaring double standard only makes sense in the light of the anti-Hindu colonial stereotypes perpetuated in modern India. The relentless campaign of psychological warfare waged on Hindu minds by the British and their brown successors post-independence have resulted in a Hindu population that is demoralized by former British masters. A 2014 marketing study found that about 90% of Indian girls cite their skin lightening as a highest need. And the double genocide imposed by the British invaders. Then the third phase, in which in secular India, where the new Hindutva groups and the anti-Hindu forces openly challenge anybody who practices Hindu. Ancient sciences of Hinduism as per its original authenticity, as revealed by Paramashiva in Vedas and Agamas, and as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Because of the amount of hate. The best part is the United Nations have now recognized the persecution that has been done on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and opened his homes of Kailasa, despite he being persecuted more than a decade in his homeland. How he has compassionately opened the
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally coming to you is e-Kailasa. Evolution. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get in. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually, the spiritual prosperity.
Welcome back. And now, us women have gone through, and that recognition being made by none other than the United Nations. Situation, if one sees for women in India, women and children in India is quite abysmal, as the erosion of the true Hindu values has resulted in the destruction of the entire social fabric. The state of the Republic of India has been either unwilling or unable to curtail, which is known to be proud for the position that it has always given women. According to the National Crimes Records Bureau, the rape of minor girls increased by 82% in the year 2016 compared with the previous year. Sexual violence and brutal weaponization of sexual violence targeting women and children is part of a more pervasive and systematic campaign targeting certain indigenous spiritual traditions, minority targeted for extermination by the New Hindutva extremist militants is the Hindu Adishaiva minority tradition in India. The extremist militants are the ones who, the extremist militant elements are opposed to ASMT's stance when it comes to the rights of women, including otherwise marginalized Dalit women, the rights of the members of the LGBTQ+ and transgender community components. The New Hindutva extremists see LGBTQ+ rights as immoral. The ASMT freely ordains women into sannyas, recognizes 11 genders, and performs specific temple rituals for even gay marriage, as per more than 5,000-year-old.
In the last decade, especially in India, there has been an alarming trend in the mainstream media and the social media of sensational screening and manufacture of misinformation and hate speech that is marginalizing minority communities, especially targeting women with the use of image morphing and deepfake videos. In 2010, at Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The New Hindutva affiliated media published articles with pictures of ASMT female monks of the ASMT actress Ranjita for defaming her. Nakir and Gopal and other media heads pressurized Ranjita to commit suicide and circulated ASMT female monks, but the most vulnerable target of this persecution are the ASMT girls and the female children, especially those minor girls who pursue religious studies to become nuns, filed several vexatious litigations in India and US. In US, these false allegations by the child rapist, such as calling the child a liar and her parents and community as part of the brainwashing cult, were all rejected by the court with a penalty for defamation of girls. The media publicly addressed them as brainwashed, sodomized disciples, witches, prostitutes, cult worshippers, sex slaves, and also published violence inciting prejudice narratives such as hang the Sen Swamis, Hindu monks, and the nuns. Several media houses continue to publish such by the government. The Indian government and the Indian state departments are perceived as one of the most corrupt in the world. The mainstream Indian media and social media influencers exercise a massive influence on the masses and even the court judges available in India. In India, like we mentioned before, the court orders are not upheld by the government. The Indian government and the Indian state departments are perceived as one of the most corrupt in the world, and the mainstream Indian media and the social court was prone to prejudice by this negative media propaganda. Though the media can influence the judiciary in India, the court judgments are toothless in curbing the media hate propaganda. The ASMT actress Ranjita, the victim of the celebrity deepfake petition in the High Court of Karnataka, implementation of the order of various quasi-legal institutions. Finally, the media's self-regulatory quasi-legal body, the NBSA, propaganda to date. Any complaint on the media in the High Court is redirected to NBSA, BCCC, and any such other bodies which do not ever have a website. As a self-regulatory body is a toothless and is known to disregard its own guidelines and orders, even when the member channels ridicule and shame dead celebrities. The NHRC, the National Human Rights Claimed the Paramashivoham of raping his own biological mother, a Hindu nun, on the occasion of his father's sad demise. The channel went on to justify their sad sexual objectification. The Indian media kept marginalizing the ASMT nuns and girls with the defamatory, sexualized allegations. In 2017, a court penalized journalists continued the smear campaign. On 2nd of March 2010, the sensational and repeated screening of the fabricated deepfake video purporting to show the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with Ranjita, a well-known Indian film actress, spread and was followed by a series of sexual assaults, was in direct complicity and had publicly declared the government's stand to persecute the ASMT leader and his community. On 17th of September 2013, the Karnataka State Department interrogators shamed and ridiculed the children, particularly girls, of their dress, pressurized them to quit their spiritual religious lifestyle, and forced them to eat unhealthy substances avoided by as per legal proceedings and orders were executed by the state to forcibly shut down the school. On 28th of voicing out against defamatory sexualization of Hindu female saint Andal by politically owned media. Several obscene morphed videos depicting Nithyananda and the ASMT children studying there. The CWC officials were pulled up by the parents of these children in the High Court. The police complaint against the state authorities were closed without investigation, and the petition to the court was forced to be withdrawn by the court. Instead, a false case was charged against leaders is not limited to ASMT, but aimed at destroying the rights of the indigenous female spiritual leaders. So, and several contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his ASMT community, which revived the legitimacy of Sanatana Hindu Dharma more than 26 years, and how especially the fate of the Hindus is being heard for this.
where you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is E-Kailasa.
Everyone who is participating in this puja to come and settle down.
चलित भ्रमितं